Welcome, everyone. Today's Tuesday, August 26, 2025. This is day two, week 21 of Hotel Evening and Weekend Platoon. And yesterday, I believe Jordan West, the legend himself, assigned to you a full team multi-day team challenge based on the car's Fullstack app. Is that correct?
Yeah,
All right, so this is React front end, Django back end. Yes,
yeah.
but we're using DRF for back end. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are any of the requirements that it be containerized or no?
Yeah, I believe it is supposed to be
All of it
contained.
has to be containerized. Does it have to be deployed?
No.
Okay. So just locally containerized, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I looked at a little bit at your assessments for. I know Jordan hasn't finished grading on them, and there seems to be a little bit of confusion. That's how I'm going to start today's class with who you are and where you are in your deployment scripts for mostly all of you. Um, you guys, I think, are forgetting the two tenets of Linux. And I'm a little disappointed because I feel like I always bring it up. But judging by your assessment for it, it seems like you don't seem to understand conceptually what is trying to be accomplished. Okay, so let's start from the beginning, just for my own sanity. It's really just my own sanity, and really for you guys to really kind of like try to hammer this home. What are the two most important tenets of Linux?
Know who you are and where you are.
Yes, correct. As it pertains to what specifically?
The console command line.
The file tree. Yes. Your directories, right? Where are you in the file tree? Who are you? What permissions do you have? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I know permissions don't seem like a thing right now, right? But when people talk about like cybersecurity and application security, and at AWS, I'll prep this one because they never shut up about it. But security is priority zero at AWS. That's a saying within the company, but it's really priority zero for everyone. AWS just makes it a slogan, but it really is for everyone. Can anyone tell me just practically why security of your application would be priority zero for every single tech company in the world?
Because anyone with any computer literacy would be able to access all of the company's files.
Yeah, or take it down. What happens when they take down a money making application?
You lose money.
Do people like losing money?
No.
That's not how you maximize shareholder value, right? Which is why they pay a lot of people, right? Quite a bit of money, right, to keep those systems running, right? They call them as tier zero services, critical to your business outcomes, right? People are going to get very upset. There's going to be a lot of devs woken up at 2 a.m. by their pager if those tier zero systems go down, right?
Yeah.
People are going to be pissed off, right? Your boss's boss is going to get called. And have you ever heard the phrase shit rolls downhill?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to roll right to you, buddy. All right. Two most important tenets in Linux. Who are you? Where are you? As it applies to the file tree, right? Yes.
Yeah.
When you create Python virtual environments, what is the purpose of that?
Make sure you keep all of your packages and resources and libraries in one place.
Yeah, but what is the virtual environment doing?
It's in well, it's shielding your computer's systems from it's shielding the computer systems from uh I guess overloading other applications or
Not necessarily overloading necessarily. but it's isolating your specific application from the rest of your computer, right?
Right.
That is really important, right? That's where the flag G comes in, global. That means across the entire system. But a lot of times we don't want to install something across the entire system unless the entire system really needs it,
Right.
right? So this virtual environments creates this kind of sandbox environment with your computer that isolates it from the rest of your computer, right? It's kind of a cool, neat way to keep all of your dependencies, right, and source code in one place, right, and make sure that it works.
Right.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So Python virtual environment, just think of it as kind of this like sandbox within your computer that isolates that specific application and their dependencies from the rest of your computer. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's a tough question for you. Do you need a virtual environment inside a Docker container?
Inside a Docker container? No,
Why not?
because Docker container, uh, with the Docker container, it's essentially kind of like a virtual environment within itself, right?
Yes, it is. So why did I see some of you guys trying to run virtual environments in your Docker container? That tells me conceptually, you don't understand the difference.
I see.
So if you get the containers running first, there's no need for a virtual environment.
The Docker container is a virtual environment. It's an isolated environment already. It's like a souped up environment. It's actually better.
That explains a lot.
Okay, back to the two tenets of Linux. You don't know where you are. You think you're in a virtual environment, but you're in Docker. Okay, you are in a virtual environment inside Docker. You still don't know where you are. You're nested like 3 deep. Docker container at this point in time, that might change in the future, right? Is arguably the best virtual environment in production right now. Docker's the GOAT. Okay. We're not even going to start talking about Kubernetes, because frankly, I don't know that much of it, right? But that's like a souped up version of running thousands sometimes of containers simultaneously. Yes, Art.
Why did we learn virtual environments so we were going to use Docker?
Do you need to spit up a Docker container every time you just need to download a dependency and run some backend locally when you're developing? You don't need it, right? You ever see the I'm gonna show you a meme because I'm good at memes. Can you guys see my Google?
Yeah.
You ever see those memes? I'm gonna think of one. Is it the distance formula GIF cutting? See if I can find it. Oh, I'm sharing my screen and I'm failing. Give me 1 second. All right. Clearly failed. I'll pull it up later. Right. But the point is, right, dude, I'm really struggling to find this meme. You ever see those memes where like they need to cut something really small, but they pull out like a machete?
Yeah.
right? Or you need to crush something and then you bust out like a steamroller. Hey, what's the point of those memes? Does anyone remember? It's overkill.
Yeah, so
You don't need it. Like, why are you taking out a giant, samurai sword to cut a little prosciutto or something, right? Like, you wouldn't do that. And that's what you're doing, right? Why would you spin up multiple containers when you're literally just testing if this library works? It'd be really impractical. Why? Why would you run those resources? Make sense? Why would you break down the image, build the image, break down the container, redeploy it when it's one thing? The answer is you wouldn't. That's the answer, right? Go ahead, Art.
So let's say we are testing something that was eventually going to be Dockerized. We would start it up in a virtual environment, test it out, and once we realize it's ready to be Dockerized, then we would take it out of the virtual environment and then Dockerize it.
All right. When someone says take it out of a virtual environment, what exactly do you mean?
Stopping the virtual environment, exiting it.
Just exiting and really just deleting the files, right? Yes, you could do that. At one point, you would strip all that stuff down. Yes. Could you keep it in there? Yeah, it really just depends. Like a lot of the it just depends how much it is. But if the files are big, right, and you're limited on space, you could remove the stuff that you don't need, right? If it's negligible and you have unlimited space, then keep it. Who cares? It just depends what you're doing.
Okay, so you would know in advance whether this is going to be a file that needs to be Dockerized, and at that point you can Dockerize from day one. But if you're not sure, if you just kind of want to test it out, then you would do the virtual environment. But you get to a point where you're like, hey, you know what? I do want to Dockerize this. So then you stop the virtual environment, and can you still use those files to Dockerize, or do you have to like just start
They're
from
completely different systems, right? They do similar things, but they're completely different, right? You're asking all the right questions, Art. You're asking all the right questions, right? And I think everyone here has similar questions, right? Like essentially, you don't understand the difference, and that's the reason why I'm going over it right now to the best of my ability. And at the end of this conversation, where I'm just talking at you, right, you might still not understand, and that's okay. That means you need to read a lot more and you need to play with it a lot more, right? And watch more YouTube videos outside of class to really conceptually understand this. Make sense? Right? And this is easy, guys. This is a learning safe environment, right? When you go to interview, they're going to be far less kind. Maybe they're kind to your face, right? But when they all to get together and talk about their candidate, they're not going to say that many nice things about you. How will you know? You won't even get a rejection email. That's how you'll know. Which is rude, I think, but it is what it is. Make sense?
yeah.
Understand the use case for a virtual environment. Understand the use case for Docker containers. Understand when you should be Dockerizing things, right? And understand the networking if you have more than one container. All of that is different, right? Why do you need networking when you have more than one container? They need to be able to talk to each other. And if a container is sending information on one port and the other container is not listening on that specific port, can they talk to each other? No, they're completely different environments. Yes?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Super, super important. So just to recap, right? If it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to you right now, that's okay. Write it down. Definitely, when you have some time, dig into it. And conceptually, you have to understand these things. These are core kind of fundamentals of programming, right? These tenets of Linux, right? This idea of virtual environments, this idea of dependencies, right? That's why when we go in there and I ask you about the stupid node
I get it.
modules, go ahead, Cisco.
No, never mind. Go ahead.
Okay. And when I ask you about the node modules and we go in there and we find what you just downloaded, right? That's the point of all that. Like, hey, understand, hey, this is just code that someone else wrote that we're downloading it and it should be in here, right? Let's look for it. And actually, a little fun test for you to do, spin up a little one-page application, right? Download something, something using NPM or something. Download the library, go in there and modify the library. When it loads up like a React application and it says, hey, counter or whatever, when it loads up that specific library, copy and paste, build a module that says art is awesome. Import it into your file and then see that, hey, you just altered their library and now it has a function that says art is awesome. So when I call it, it says that. It's just code. You can go in there and modify it once you have downloaded it, right? Because they already came from the repository. Once it's on your machine, it's yours, it's local. You can do whatever you want with it, including altering it, right? The reason people typically don't, right, is because when a new version comes out, right, you're going to have to update the new version as well. The only reason I tell you this, right, is so you understand conceptually what it is, right? And this is more just kind of like an exercise. You wouldn't actually really do it in real life. But if you figured out how to do that and you understood why you're doing that, right, that tells me conceptually you understand what it is. Yes?
Yeah.
All right. Cool, cool. Any questions about what we have discussed?
No.
Nope, 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 nope. Good. Right?
Yeah. Good.
Alrighty. Alrighty. Let me see. I had one more thing. No, we'll leave that for later. Where are we on this application challenge?
We're pretty well. We pretty much got pretty much the most of the back end stuff ready. And we already set up a front end with a React scaffold on there with got the nav bar and everything and the links going to the pages, the current pages that we're planning on building for. Now it's just fleshing out the UI and adding the inputs and whatnot to.
Okay, is this repo being held somewhere? Where is this? Can anyone throw it in the questions hotel channel?
Yeah.
I think part of the unknown is that, you know, since this is our first time working as a group, it took us a little while, but we figured out how to share the repo and how to edit and commit the changes. But you know, I'm still kind of in the dark. It's like when I pull this up and I have the most recent version, am I gonna do like a npm install, or
All
is it
right.
already installed for me?
Good question, Art. We're about to do this together. Because this is what you're going to do on the job a lot of the time. You ready? Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
Art, I'm sorry, did you finish?
Yeah, you got it. You got it. I'm a little I don't know what's gonna happen when I start doing stuff and how it's gonna affect the other file.
Yeah, we're about to walk through it. Good question. All right, so here we go. This is the code, right?
Yeah.
If I pull this, this is going to work.
Yes, it'll work.
Okay.
The front end will.
We're going to find out. All right. I am going to do just a test folder. I'm going to cd into my test, right?
Mhm.
There's nothing in here. Cool. I'm going to git clone your
You may
code.
not have permissions.
Yeah, no, I have permissions. Yes, this is your stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, So I can go in here, right? I literally just clone your code. I haven't done anything. I need to figure out how to get rid of this. I don't even have that on my thing. All right, cool. CD into cars,
Mhm.
cars API. Alrighty, what's in here?
Front end. You can go to front end.
Okay, what's wrong with this title, cars API?
Is it because it's the, the format of it should be underscore?
Uh, Not necessarily, right? I mean, it's kind of weird because you have JavaScript, right?
Mhm.
Which would take well, actually that wouldn't, that'd be camel case too. And then Python, which would be underscore. So hyphen doesn't really make sense, but that's not really what I was getting at. It says cars API, it's not an API, right? It's a whole stack application.
All right.
So I'm just gonna call it cars.
Okay.
All right. I know that may seem like a small trivial thing, but for you right now, it's really important that you name your variables what they are
Mhm.
and you name your folders what they are. That's going to further solidify exactly what the heck you're doing. Make sense?
Yeah.
You need to be able to kind of work through this stuff now. That is easy because things just get harder from here. All right. So you have a back end and a front end, right?
Yeah.
So I know if I CD into your front end, right?
Mm-hmm.
I go in here.
Mm-hmm.
I go in here into your front end and I look at your package JSON.
Mm-hmm.
What is this telling me?
All the dependencies.
It's telling me all the dependencies. I need my dependencies for this to run, right? I need to run a what?
NPM install.
npm install. How do I know that I don't have any dependencies installed in this specific React application? How would I know that by just looking at my files?
But you don't have a node module
Exactly.
folder.
There you go. Now I do. Yes?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So now I can just run an npm run dev, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to load up a front end. Yes?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if it does. It appears to have worked. Oops. I accidentally pasted that. Sorry about that. Okay. This looks like it works. Cool. And I'm going to just pull up my inspector tools here, see if I get any errors or anything. Click on this. Look at my UI. What's happening here?
You getting so you getting that's like what is it called? Refresh or
It's not a refresh. Well, kind of. It's not really a refresh. It's what? I'm clicking the nav bar and I'm getting what? I'm getting a redirect, right?
oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's routing here, right?
Right.
I can tell because of this,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
This is URL-based routing, it looks like. And it's even actually changing the whatever title that is or whatever.
Right.
Good. This looks great, actually. Okay, sweet. And I know, right, that I'm in cars. I'm going to go back into cars, right? I'm going to CD into the back end because I should be able to load up the back end as well, right?
No, not yet.
Not yet. All right.
No.
Let's figure this out. I'm going to go into the back end, right? And I'm going to also open it in here. And what is wrong here? How come I can't run this back end?
Because it currently doesn't have anything. Just has the requirements text in there, and that's it.
So you have no back end.
Right. Well, yeah. I haven't pushed the stuff that I have on there yet.
Cool. All right. So you're going to push the back end stuff. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. There's a lot missing here. Cool, 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 cool. If I was working on the front end, what needs to be get done?
just basically, oh, go ahead.
What needs to get done, knowing that I don't have access to the back end yet? How can I make progress on the front end without having access to the back end? What do I need to know?
And you can use dummy data, and you can go ahead and we can start working on the UI and use dummy data to temporarily be a placeholder for back end data.
Hard code a bunch of strings and have it pull up, right?
Yeah.
And if you have to use use state or everything, write the function and then literally just replace the string and update the state, right? That can be all dummy data. It can be, hey, a picture of a cat goes here. That could be the string, right? And then just put a picture of a cat or something, whatever, right? And it's like, hey, it's going to be pulled from the API. Swap the URL or swap, the state variable that is eventually is going to, be passed down from its parent element or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You actually don't necessarily need the back end if you have a good idea of what the front end is supposed to look like, right? You can hard code everything and then just swap out the URLs or the API calls or whatever the case may be. And you can actually already have the functions written, but instead of like a static string or a static image, return the API call or whatever, or the data from the updated use state, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You can even start by counseling the log first as just a simple function and then throw it up on your UI in that order. That would help. Yes?
Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
If
So
you look at the look at the task MD file there and it's kind of a little outline of the task to do.
okay, let's look at it. Project task list for CRUD operations. I'm just gonna run through it and then give off any advice that I think I'm coming off the dome, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, project task list for CRUD operations. Page 1, create CRUD operations. Design the UI for creating a new resource. Fields validation. Design the UI for creating a new resource. Okay. Awesome. So this is going to be some kind of user input with a button, right?
Right.
Some kind of user input with a button, right? That's going to validate. It's going to be some kind of regex validation or some kind of built-in React or Material UI component, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can get a Material UI or a React component that does it for you, right? That has built-in functionality so you don't have to write the code or maintain it. That's better, right?
Right.
That's what I would look for here. Implement the React component for create operation. That's kind of goes hand in hand with the top one. Handle user input and send requests to the Django backend for a creation. This could easily just be a hard code like I was talking about and have it render, right? And have it render on the GUI. You're not going to get these notes. I'm just writing them just so you kind of remember. Right, have it render in the GUI. All right, task B, create Django API import for handling create requests. This is going to be whoever's working on the back end, right? There's no way to mimic that. You need to create it. Implement the logic for validating and processing the request. Yeah, there's going to be back end stuff. But if you need this information on the front end, just hard code it, right? You could easily just create, like inside your code, create like a little dictionary if that's what's going to be returned. Hard code the keys and values, and then just grab the key and value, right? All right, read operation, design the UI for displaying a list of components, tables, or cards. Good. Again, this could be just a big dictionary that you hard code that you can just populate from, right? Implement React component for reading, handle requests on the Django backend for retrieving data, and render it on the front end. That's going to be a backend thing. But that's right. Like, there's no way around that. Create a Django API import for handling read requests. Okay, this is going to kind of go hand in hand with this one. This is going to create, this is going to read. I imagine you have all four of them, right?
Right.
Good. Implement logic for querying database and returning relevant data. This, you just have to look at the API endpoint, right? And just look at what data you're gonna pull, right? And you can get the key value pairs already like written out.
Right.
Update operation, design UI for updating an existing resource. Cool. You could hard code this. right? Like if you have a dictionary or something, another button could be like update. It's just going to grab that same hard-coded dictionary and then just update it. So you can work on this just like you would create a new resource,
Right.
right? And start with just one or two indexes, right? That makes it easy. Just grab the first one. Obviously, when you hit the API, it's going to be a little bit more complex, right? Because maybe the request has some kind of like per query parameters or something, but you'll figure that out later. This update operation, handle user input, that's good. Create the Django API for handling update. Yep. Validating, implement the logic for validating and processing the request data. Good. Out of the 4 CRUD operations, which is the hardest? Can anyone tell me why? Which is the hardest and why? There's only 4. Which one's the hardest?
Yeah. I believe it's actually the create one.
Nope. All 3 of them are, all 4 of them, all 3 of them, 3 of the 4 are actually really easy. There's one that's actually hard.
Is it update?
Why?
Because you have to save the original and then change it and then change it again or whatever. Like you can't just delete it or add one. You have to change it. So you have to save it as something to be able to do whatever logic and then add it to it at the end. And then
The word you're looking for is retrieve. You need to retrieve the right one. Pull up the information that's already saved in the database, display it properly to the user, take a post request to it, while validating it's going to fit in your schema in the database because you're making a post request to your database, right? And have it all go through and then render properly.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is.
Update's the only hard one. The other 3 are very easy.
That's the very one I had the most trouble with as well.
That's the one you will struggle with. Update, leave it to the end. Get your first 3 squared away first. Right?
Yeah.
Right. The put's going to be the hardest, but obviously the put can't come before the post, right? So your create has to come first, right? So you need to be mindful of that order, right? I would go in this order: create, delete, then what? Create, delete, read, update. Or create, read, delete, update. Both of those orders will work. Make sense? I bet you never really thought of that, right? But again, conceptually, the question that I asked you is not a trick question. Think it out. Spend a little bit of time thinking about it. And if conceptually you understand what they're supposed to do, that should be a question that you should be able to answer. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, delete operation. I mention it because I think you're leaving delete to the end, right? And as consciously, you didn't really think, hey, delete's one of the easiest ones. It should come up. Update should be the last one. But that's just something to keep in mind. Deleting, confirm dialog, implement the React component. Yep, it's easy. Create the Django API endpoint for handle and delete. Good. Additional tasks, ensure all CRUD operations are implemented securely using authentication. This is actually a really big piece. But do you actually need any of the CRUD operations to implement line 48?
Do you actually need any of the CRUD
Yeah,
operations?
do you need any of the CRUD operations for you to work on line 48?
Oh, no, you don't. You just need the authentication, the authentication for the user to be able to perform it.
Exactly. You actually don't need any of them. Simple login, log out on the GUI. This can be worked on without any of the routes being done or the backend, right?
Right.
Well, some of the backend. right? Not necessarily, but you can write up the front end and use dummy credentials, right? If the dummy credential 777 is passed, go to the hem page. They're all authenticated, right?
Mhm.
And then you just swap those dummy credentials for real ones, right?
Right.
So there you go. You don't need anything to be done to get started on that one. Test the entire application to ensure page functions correctly. Okay, yeah, that's the very last one. All right, cool. Yeah, this looks good. Just be mindful of the order and the notes that I gave you. Outside of that, it looks good. Order, once you push up a change up there, obviously, make a pull request. Make sure that there isn't any merge conflict. Someone tell me what a merge conflict is.
When you got when you got two um when you got two commits that are conflicting with each other, like you got two different people working on uh their version, and somebody made a change to one of the files that's wasn't present when they
No,
started
no,
working on
not
it.
necessarily. That's easy, right? It's when someone made a change to the same line that you made a change to.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what you're going to run into. When someone deletes a file or creates a file, those are easier, right? But when someone edits line 48 and you edited line 48, the computer doesn't know which line 48 is correct. So you have to tell it.
Okay.
It's their line correct or is your line correct?
Right.
Do you need both lines? Are you happy that it got flagged because you realize, hey, it's a combination of both, and now you got to go in there and edit,
Mm-hmm.
which sometimes does happen as well, right? Learn how to resolve merge conflicts as you're working together in a project because you're going to be doing it at work all the time. Stuff is always out of sync because there's a lot of hands in the cookie jar.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys have really well built out CI/CD pipelines, they won't even let you merge it. They'll flag any merge conflict, and then you have the option of remedying the merge conflict either locally or through the GUI. Here's a hot tip for you. Always do it locally. Always do it locally so that way your local branch is in sync with the right code on the remote branch. Never use the GUI for that reason. Does that make sense? Because if you fix it in the GUI, that's fine, right? But now the remote branch is different than what you have locally. And sometimes people forget that and they start making more changes and they try to push again. And then they start to realize, holy crap, the remote branch is way different than my local branch. Make sense? Yes? Okay. Okay, I went over the notes of your project or where you are right now. Good. The following command you're going to need a great deal. Get comfortable with it. It's called the git rebase. Understand everything there is to know about the command git rebase and git switch. These are hard-earned lessons I am bestowing on you. Remind me to ask Rod for a raise after this class, right? You're going to need those two. Probably some of the most useful commands. Git switch switches you out of your current branch with all of your commits, right? Just in case you started working on main or master, right? It gets you out of there with all your commits. And git rebase is incredibly useful. It allows you to do a couple different things. But two of the most useful is squashing your commits when you have like a million commits, but you don't need that many. And you want to clean up your Git history. Also, it allows you to put all of your changes on top of another branch. And if you so wish to, override that branch with all of your commits because yours are newer or correct or both. Make sense? So you're going to need your normal git pull, git push, git add, right? But two of the most useful ones you're going to use on the job, git rebase and git switch. Hot tip. Go ahead, Art.
Maybe I misunderstood, but can you tell me the difference between get checkout and get switch?
Yes. Can you see my screen? Yeah. I'm on which branch?
Me.
Main. With a bunch of changes that haven't been committed, right? Crap. I don't want to add to main. I want to branch off of it, but I already started changing it and I have a bunch of commits. It'd be cool if I switched out of this and brought all my commits with me. So main stays unchanged. And now I have a different branch with all the commits that I've made, right? Get switch. And you can see I use it all the time because that's why it's part of my history. And I'm going to call it just working on backend, right? So now I'm going to come off of this branch, right? With all of my commits. Notice the exclamation mark 2, question mark 1, right? All of my changes came, right? Now I can get add, get commit, and I can do back-end work done, right? I saved it. Get add, what is this saying? It's saying what? Update will be committed. Changes to unstaged. Oh, I have a bunch of state. That's fine. That's fine. What's going on? Give me a second. I think I added a bunch of node modules into my Git history, but that's fine. That doesn't matter. I'm going to teach you another one. Give me 1 second. I don't want to teach you that. That's fine. All right. The main thing about Git switch is it comes off a branch and I bring all my commits. And then you could add these git commit and then just commit that specific, those specific changes, right? And that leaves my main branch what? Say that again?
Untouched or in the original status?
Untouched. Yes, or in its original status.
And the get checkout just moves you so that all of the changes
No, git
stay on.
checkout is you pull out a different branch, right? So if I do git branch, right, and I want to check out my main branch, it's going to be untouched. Does that make sense? Make sense?
Um, so get checkout moves you to a different branch.
Yeah. Notice how I'm main and it's unchanged, right? But now I have a different branch because I branched off of it with git switch. And so git switch just creates another branch and brings all my commits with me,
Oh,
right?
okay, okay. But if you were moving, say, from main to working on back end and you just did a get checkout to get to that working on back end, are your commits staying on the main or your commits going to come with you with the get check?
No. Once I get switch and create a new branch, all the commits on that branch stay on that branch, and all the commits on main staying on main. I can't mix them. Once I'm off of that branch, I'm in. Make sense?
Okay, yes.
Okay. Questions? No questions about that? I'll ask you this question about your specific repo, which is actually part of the reason for my 7,000 untracked changes in my repo. Where is git init in your folder? This matters a great deal, actually, for everyone here. You're sharing this repo, right? Where's the git init?
Oh, you didn't hear me. It's in the root of the repo.
It's in cars API folder.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Yep, that's where it is. That's where you are going to make all of your changes. Just remember that at root, all your changes are being tracked. That's really important. Why is that important?
Because you can have a single source, single point of reference to look back on and see where everything is happening at.
Yeah. Remember, you're at root cars API folder, change the name to just like cars or cars project or something. Cars project might get confusing with the Django, right? So just do cars or cars full stack or something. Keep in mind, don't try to get init inside one of the folders, right? Which I have seen before. That's why I bring that up. You are coming at root. That's where all your git changes. Yes?
Yeah.
Do all your git stuff at root. Remember that. Alrighty. Is there a way to do it from different folders? Yes. But for you right now, just go to root and do your gits. Trust me. It's just going to be easier for you for right now. Yes, Art, question.
Yeah, you didn't. Did, I'm sorry if I missed it, but did you talk about Git rebase? Or was it just-
I didn't, but I'm going to have you guys figure that one out.
Got it.
Yeah, we've already used it.
Okay.
We
But
use it.
rebase, right? It allows you to put all of your changes on top of another branch. That's how I want you to use it. You can use it for a couple of different things, right? Because I use it a lot for like squashing commits. Right now, I don't care about squashing commits for you, but I care, right? That if you check out main or you check out, let's say, added delete functionality, right? So you have a branch that is local that's called added delete functionality, right? That you're able to check out main and put your update delete functionality on top of main, right? You can add it and there won't be any merge conflicts. So you're saying, hey, give me everything from main, right? But all of my changes are completely new, non-existent. Put them on top. And if there's some kind of conflict, guess which one supersedes the other? Mine, because I'm putting my changes on top. That's why that's really useful. Right? Because if there's no one else touching the repo at that time and you get a fresh main and you make changes on your branch, right? You can just rebase off a main and put yours on top and send it. And you're not going to have any merge conflicts ever. I know that probably seems confusing right now, but I'm just giving you those two because they're really, really useful and they're used all the time, especially when working with other people. All righty. I know that was a bunch, guys, and I just yapped for like an hour, so sorry about that. But now I am gonna. Did they open a breakout room yesterday, or how did they do it?
Single
You
breakout.
shove this all in one.
Okay, so I'm just gonna open one room. Definitely, I would take a break, take like a 20-minute break or whatever. Grab some lunch or whatever, or dinner. I guess it's dinner time. Let me stop the recording here.
We are like, we
What's
are
up?
hot on this, man. We are hot.
Good stuff. Good stuff. let's look at some progress. Do you guys push up any changes by chance?
Not many, no.
7,500.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, just
Accidentally, we had to.
we had some push and pull issues. So we got that rectified. And then I just added I sent up a UI design kind of like with some snapshots of what the input elements and stuff would look like for each page. And yeah.
Got
And
it.
then of course we were going through the React Bootstrap API or React Bootstrap API and just showing them how they can use the components and stuff within our application.
Alrighty. Alrighty. That works. I kind of want to show you kind of a little bit of the workflow that I like. I said that really awkwardly. I'm sorry. Let me think. Yeah, I just want to go over some branching and a type of workflow using Git that I like. Does that sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So right here, you can see that we are in main branch, right?
Right.
Okay. If I pull your branch, it will update if you've pushed changes to main. Have you pushed changes to main?
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to see I'm going to bring in your changes. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And you have. You've made all of these changes. Right. I see your tasks is at root. The awesome git ignore at root. That's right. A little readme. Perfect. Okay. So this is new, right? So if I actually try to do a git pull, it's just going to say everything's up to date, right?
Right.
Here's my tip to you. Never edit main. Ever.
Mm-hmm.
What is main for? To get all the changes of your remote repo. You never edit main. That's why I taught you git switch. Because if you actually start making changes on main, and sometimes you will, right? Because you try to get the fix in and you forget to branch out, right? That's why I showed you git switch. That's when git switch would make sense. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So here you never edit main. I don't know if anyone's ever taught you that, but if they haven't, I know some people, all right, so some people do it a little differently. I'm going to teach you my way that I think is superior. Okay. Never, 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 never edit main or master. Whatever your main branch at your job is, you never edit that one. You want to have a branch locally that is 100% in sync with your remote repo, because then you can do a diff or you can do a rebase or you can compare and contrast. You can even pull up two different VS Code instances and compare them next to each other when you can't figure something out. So you never edit main. So the first thing you really want to do is you get in here, you start doing a bunch of stuff, right? You write some awesome code, right? In here, start writing some really amazing code. Boom, wrote some amazing core. Now it's going to track one change. Sweet. Ah, crap, I forgot the branch off main. That's fine. I know git switch. I'm going to switch out, see, feature, fix, whatever. Right. So now I have this branch. I'm going to git add, git commit, feature fix, whatever. Feature fix. Cool. Notice now I've saved my change on feature fix. So if I go git branch, git checkout main, right? Main is still in sync with remote. And if I know, or I can just go to GitHub or GitLab or whatever and look if there's been any changes, right? I can just do a git pull. And now locally, I have everything that is in remote, and I have my feature fix, my code locally, right? So if I need to rebase or do anything, I have that ability. That's why you never change main. You can change main and start doing a bunch of weird stuff, but I have found that when you're a new developer, just do it this way. It's going to be easier. Never edit main, right? So I have main, which is in sync with my remote repo, and I'm going to go back to working on my feature. Git checkout feature. And now I'm on this branch and all my code is back. Go ahead, Art.
Kimball, I understood that, like, let's say you're working in main and you're like, hey, I didn't really want to put these changes on main. I'm going to do a get switch. I'm going to go to a different branch. But I understand that get switch is going to is to create a new branch. What if you wanted to just move to an existing branch and take your changes with you?
Depending on whether they're in sync with that branch, you're going to create a merge conflict. Don't ever do it that way. You are not talented enough with Git to do it that way. That's why I'm teaching you this way. In your specific scenario, I would switch out to a brand new branch and add that branch to the branch that you were going to check out. That's going to be much easier for you to understand. Even if you're doing a feature merge to that second branch, and then that second branch, then you're merging the main, right? That's two merges as opposed to one. It's going to be easier for you for now. Once you get better at Git and can do a bunch of fancy stuff like checking out specific commits and cherry picking and eliminating commits and then, squash merging everything. When you're at that point, you can ignore what I said. But for now, do it the way that I tell you. I still sometimes do it that way. Right? Sometimes, even at work, things get so messy, right? That I'll pull the branch I'm supposed to merge into locally, right? Branch off of that to a point where they're identical, and then I'll copy over my changes and then send up the pull request. If it gets that messy, I sometimes literally have two monitors and I just copy it over. Why? I understand my Git limitations and this needs to get done. So I just do it that way. That is a brutal way to do something if you have a lot of changes, right? So be very mindful of your changes, where you are, who you are, all that good stuff. Make sense?
Yeah.
When in doubt, and here's the golden rule, when in doubt, new branch. There is no limit to how many branches. At least I can't. I mean, I've had a bunch. There might be a hard limit. I don't know, but you're probably never going to find it. A hard limit of how many branches you can have locally. Probably 10 million. I don't know. Just create a new branch and then merge it in there. It's just going to be easier. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So if I wanted to push up this branch with my new code, how would I do it? Get push. It's a new branch, right? So it's you, feature, fix. This should do it. What's happening here?
That branch is not on our repo currently.
Yeah, that's true, but that's not my issue. I can push up. It says, "Hey, upstream, this is a new branch. Take it."
Oh yeah. Oh well, you don't have access rights to do so.
I do not have access rights to that repo. Give me 1 second. I'm looking. Where do I go to look for the access rights to this repo?
Adam, so he designated the contributors or users that's able to do so. I wasn't present when it happened, but
Yeah, let's add me right now.
maybe go to settings.
Ready?
Go to settings.
Or is it security? I don't know.
Everyone should know how to do this. So let's walk through this. Walk me through it, Adam, if this is you.
Right. Settings, and I just did collaborators and teams.
Collaborators and teams. Now I need to verify. Lane, give me a second. This is dumb. Nobody wants to check out my lane GitHub. Give me 1 second, guys. Here we go. Like cat fax API, no one cares. All right, I'm here. Add people. Guillermo. Admin. I'm already a collaborator. Okay. Did you just add me just now, Adam?
Like before you started doing it, I added you. Yeah.
What is wrong here then?
Do you need admin?
Is it origin?
Oh,
And then the name of my feature? Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, so now I'm up. I just pushed up my awesome code to your repo, right? So if I go in here, pull requests, this is the branch that I just pushed up, right? Feature fix, that's me. I can compare and pull. Awesome code. Create pull request. All right, shows that there's no conflicts, right? I can look at the commits, right? Files changed. Oh, I don't remember adding all of these changes. Awesome code, commented now. But where's my pull request? Feature fixes this one. I didn't change 37 now. I didn't do all that many changes. I changed.
But you can merge it.
Yeah, I know, but where is my code? I changed what? I changed the git ignore. That's it.
Right.
So where is my git ignore here?
Right there at the top should be right.
Right here. Yeah, this is my code right here. Why did this happen?
Why did that happen?
Yeah, why did this happen?
Because we haven't merged the pull request.
No, but it should only show me that what I changed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it showing all of these? Right, for my specific pull request, this looks like it's aggregate, but I didn't do that. It should show one file changed, right? A handful of lines. What is that? 6 lines changed. Right, I don't know why he's doing that. It's up to you to figure that out. But my pull request is literally 6 lines changed, 1 file changed. Right, but right now it seems to be aggregating everything, and I don't know why. That's up to you to figure out, but that's not supposed to happen. Make sense?
No, but we'll try to figure it out.
Okay, but if I merge it, obviously, if I merge it, nothing's gonna happen, right? Like the code that I wrote is whatever, right? I can delete feature branch now. And I can go back here. And this looks like it's another Nicole's comment. It looks like this can be merged too. This never merged. You can merge it. Not that it matters. You guys are just messing around, right? Like, it doesn't really matter right now. But yeah, there you go. No more pull requests, and all the code should be in here. My git ignore code should be in main now. Right, if I go down here, yep, this is what I added. Make sense?
Yeah.
Alrighty, good stuff. All right, so back. I got a little sidetrack showing you that. But I think that that's important. So the main takeaways here are, don't ever edit main. The minute that you start coding, branch off, get switch off of it. And you could even, where's my code? Here we go. You see get my feature fix here? You see this branch? If I want a copy of it, notice how I don't have any commits. There's no staged commits on this, right? Or actually, I can check out main. Git check out main.
You can't see your screen.
Oh, sorry. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Okay, boom. All right, now you can see it.
Yeah.
All right, so check this out here. I'm on main and I git pull and nothing happens, right? That's because now my local branch is in sync with my remote branch, right?
Right.
So the first thing you should really always do once you have main and that happens, you should git switch into whatever the name of your branch is going to be. And typically you'll have some kind of SOP where you work, right? It'll be like feature fix, something, something, Jira ticket number or something like that, right? But here I'm just going to do hotfix. That's what I'm going to call my branch. I switch out of main into hotfix. Is there any code difference between main and hotfix right now?
No.
No, absolutely not. Now, had there been some commits, I would have brought them with me, but there is none. Both of these are now identical. But that's great. I can start making changes and then adding to this file and then pushing it up and then merging it. Right?
Yeah.
Now, there's going to be, depending on where you end up, some workflows that everyone like changes main and then sends it up and that works for them. That's awesome. For right now, it's in your best interest just to do it this way. Because a lot of jobs actually do it this way. But even if a job doesn't, at least this conceptually, you'll start to understand exactly what's happening. And it'll save you from making some big mistakes.
So, Guillermo, is it all right? So is it okay to, so say you change something to hotfix, right?
Mhm.
And then we do git checkout main, and then we do git checkout, and then we do git checkout main, and then we do git merge, hotfix with main while we're
Mhm.
is that okay? Is that
You can do that. Yeah.
yeah, okay.
So here I just made some changes to hotfix. I'm going to go ahead and add them. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. So I added them. So now hotfix, git checkout. It's actually different than main,
Right,
right?
right.
They're both different. Boom, boom, boom. Let me show you something. Give me a second. Actually, the code is different on hotfix and feature fix. Git checkout, hotfix. All right, I'm on hotfix right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm on hotfix, but I want feature fix on top of hotfix. I want all the code on feature fix to go on top of hotfix.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What I would do is I'd make sure hotfix is up to date, and it is. Right. Then I'd check out feature fix, right? And I want all of feature fix on top of hotfix. I'm going to rebase off it. Git rebase hotfix. And now all of feature fix will go on top. And it will override anything if there's a conflict because you're saying, hey, this branch's changes supersede what I'm rebasing off of. Right? And sometimes you'll get something like this. Right? And you get to resolve this merge conflict. So here, the issue is just here. It's saying, hey, accept current changes, accept incoming changes, accept both changes, and you can compare changes side by side, but this is small changes, right? And notice my git ignore, it gets highlighted as saying, hey, you have a merge conflict. VS Code is trying to help you out. Hey, you have a merge conflict here. Now, this is only one file because I'm making it easier for you, but sometimes you have like a dozen files, right? And it tells you right here, hey, you have one problem in one file. Sometimes you have 87 changes across 24 files. That does happen sometimes, right? So you have to go in there, right? And you say, hey, which is the right one here? Or you can, when it's a little bit of A and a little bit of B, you just accept both changes and then you edit them. But for right now, I'm going to say, hey, the incoming change, all of them are right. So I'm going to tap in and notice how that's going to replace the old code with the code coming in. And now I have those 6 lines. Cool, right? So I do clear here, right? I have resolved it in the merge editor, right? I can get rebase, and this is continue, right? And it says git ignore needs to merge. You need to edit all the merge conflicts and then mark them as resolved and git add. Okay, so that means that, hey, this, I just resolved it. I added the incoming. I kept the incoming changes. It's saying, hey, I have to git add them. Git add, git commit, whatever. There you go. I've added them. Then I can git rebase continue. It's saying, hey, go on to the next change. Now I don't have any, so this should almost get me out. Right? Now it gets me out. It says, hey, all of your merge conflicts have been resolved. And now notice the changes are being tracked. And now I can git push. This is not a new branch anymore because feature fix is up top, right? It's on in remote.
Mm-hmm.
So I could just go push origin, feature fix, and now it pushes the changes, right? I already merged feature fix, so I think this is going to come up as another branch. But I can come up here, I can check feature fix. Now let me refresh. Oh, view all branches. What's happening right now?
Don't like you. It don't like it was pushed to the. Are you in the right one? That's so that's
Yeah,
not.
it
That's
doesn't
not
look like
ours.
I'm in the right one. This one. Sorry about that. I clicked wrong. All right, let's go back to this. All right, so here I should have what? Feature fix, right? And go to git ignore, and it should be matchy matchy. What is it showing here?
Showing the change.
Showing the change here, but it shouldn't because I
Shouldn't
pushed
have
up a
head.
new.
It shouldn't have head though.
Yeah, it shouldn't have that either. Branch. This branch is 2 commits ahead, 6 commits behind. This I just pushed. You know what I think is happening?
What's that?
I think the fork of the repo, something's getting crossed in the fork. I think that's what's happening here. This is getting weird because it's almost mixing itself up from,
Oh, is it comparing it to CP evenings and weekends
yeah,
maybe?
that's what I feel like it's happening. This is the piece of advice that I have for you. Copy whatever the most recent code is and start a very fresh repo from one of your repos and do it off that. This is messy. I wouldn't do it this way. So what I would do, one of you, it doesn't matter who, find out who has the most recent, right? And then you're going to do the following. You're going to go to your profile, right? And you're going to go boom, and you're going to create a new repository, right?
Mm-hmm.
Small group project, whatever. And you're going to add your coworkers, your peers, and you're going to redo the repo. I think something's getting crossed with the curriculum, and I wouldn't do it that way. Start a brand new repo, get everyone to access, and work on your Git pulls. That's what I would do.
All right, so I think Jordan. So do we need to have it a fork off of CP weekends because you guys want to look at it later?
We can look at it even if it's on yours, right?
Okay.
Yeah. If anyone gives you any guff, you tell them that Guillermo said. It's gonna be fine, right? Anybody's GitHub whose repo is public, I can go clone their code, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can go clone it. Doesn't matter whose it is, right? And I can literally try to run it and look at it. It literally makes no difference.
Okay.
Besides the way that they're doing their organizations at GitHub, we're in the middle. If you've noticed that some of the repos are a little messy, is because we're in the middle of using GitHub organizations to restructure all the curriculum. That's what's happening. That's why some of the links are broken and some of the stuff's a little messy. So Jordan knows it. It's ultimately his job to fix it. So he's fully aware of what's happening. So that's what I would do, guys, because I think that's getting a little messy and it's probably going to confuse you a little bit. All right, go ahead, Art.
Right now, we're all working off the development branch. But would it be cleaner if we all had our own branch?
Yes.
Okay.
Nope. Everyone's working off the same branch. That's a nightmare,
Okay.
right? You should have one titled like, I don't know, like a UI CRUD or something, or whatever feature you're working on. Someone should be on like Django, routes, whatever. And they all should be coming into main, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's how you should be doing. Could you do it the way that you're doing it? Yes, but it's going to confuse you more than it's going to help you at the moment.
Righty.
Alrighty. Once you have the new repo, drop it in the hotel evening weekend. It's whoever, and just be like, hey, this is the group project. We're starting a brand new repo because whatever. Just explain the reason. Make sense? I would get that set up now and almost maybe even just work together to get that set up and make sure that everyone has access to it and everyone pulls the same main branch and it works. And then you can say, okay, branch off of this. Art, you have this. Nicole, you have this. Adam, Cisco, you have this. Okay, go. So when everyone pushes it up, it should be 4 or 5 different branches coming into the repo. And then you merge them one by one. Yes?
Yeah, got you.
Alrighty, dudes. Let's do a check-in in 40 at 9:10. Try to get that set up and at least everyone having their own branch to work on. And I think that would be a win for today. Yep.
All right.
Where is my desktop? So took a minute, but I got the new repo called cars in mine set up.
Mm-hmm.
I pushed it, but I kept getting this fatal error, so I
Mm-hmm.
switched to remote set URL and then did the commands that it told me to do when I was setting up the repo, and it all ended up there.
Perfect. Yes, it didn't know where to send it, it looks like.
Yes, so I had to change it because it originally told me it was get remote add. Like when so I created the repository on GitHub, and that was like the instructions on the bottom to like
Mm-hmm.
code you had. But that wasn't working, so I Googled it and it said change it to set URL.
Okay. Good stuff. So you got it up then.
Yes, and I added, so we have the one branch main. We have, I think it's the most up-to-date one. Um, I pulled it before I pushed it, so we should be up to date. Um, and then you guys should be able to go in there and grab it.
So everyone should be cloning here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How far did we get?
I got some buttons on a page that don't do anything yet, but they're on a page.
Yeah.
You're just using the default React library?
Yes.
Okay. Good stuff. How about everybody else?
I tried to bring over some bootstrap information. I broke models, but then I unbroke it. So I didn't get it to work, but at least it's not broken.
It's
Yeah.
it's not broken, but it's not working.
Yeah, it's complicated. No, like so the original page Cisco created and it just said models. And then so I try to throw in an input group that I grabbed from Bootstrap. Didn't work. So I just commented it out. So it's still back to models. So it's not broken, but it's not fixed.
Alrighty. Adam, Cisco.
Well, I'm doing a flush tonight, so I got a colonoscopy in the morning. So I'm
Bro,
hurting.
you said that and it's with recording, broski? You couldn't have lied or something? Jesus Christ, Cisco. You're done, bro. Adam, save us.
TMI.
For me, I've been on Google searching up libraries, just kind of playing around, see what I want to have on here and whatnot. I haven't really written coded anything down. I don't want to break something yet because we're still in a really like fragile point where we're restarting constantly. Everything's breaking over and over again.
And you would just create your own branch, right? You're not going to break anything if you create your own branch locally and just mess with it, right?
Oh yeah, I guess yeah. That
Yeah. So you're not gonna break anything if you do it that way. Actually, even if you modified main locally, as long as you didn't like push it or anything, it wouldn't matter, right? You could always re-clone it, right?
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you broke something, you could always branch off of it and then push a different name branch up and then compare them, right? All that stuff will come with time, right? But it's kind of like understanding how Git works and how to accomplish things. Any questions about kind of like the workflow that you have going? It definitely takes a little bit of time to get started and kind of figure out everything.
Yeah. No, I think we pretty much have a pretty good idea as far as the workflow. I don't I don't know about everybody else. I can't speak for everyone, of course, but um
Well, Cisco laid it out pretty good for us in his task MD, but we didn't really get around to giving individual assignments. I'd like to volunteer on this models page, try and get that working, get an input group, and so maybe I'll have something for you guys on Thursday.
Okay, that's definitely a good idea. Does anybody want to take a specific piece of it now?
I'm still working on the cars page, getting some of the buttons on there and stuff, so
Good. Adam, Cisco?
yeah, finalizing the back end, and then once I get that up and running, I'll jump over and help these guys out. I help them out in and out while I'm doing the back end stuff, but yeah, I'll jump over to the front end and start um, working on what's left.
Yeah, when you finish one route, right, you don't have to like wait to finish all the routes to give them the route, right? So if you finish the create route and the get route and the delete route, they can start working on those while you're working on the put route, right?
Right.
All right, so keep that in mind, Adam.
Well, Cisco's pretty much got the back end, so any part of the front end that's just not done, I can just pick that up.
Yeah, definitely that works. Look at it right now, especially early on, there's a lot to do. So just kind of communicate in your groups and kind of figure out what needs to get done. I'll give you a perfect example of a real world example that I'm doing right now. When people get tasked on a big project, or even like a smallish project with 4 or 5 people, what ends up happening is people will work on, they call them work streams, or you can call them anything, right? Different parts of an application or different functionality. What ends up happening is that everyone's code ends up going to a repo, but no one is like the keeper of the code, right? The keeper of the quality of the entire repo, right? So that's actually what I'm doing in 2 of my projects. Like no one was assigned any of the linting or the pre-commit hooks that make sure there's no secrets in the code or that it's following best practices as of, the latest Python version or whatever the case may be, right? No one's in charge of all that small stuff, right? And making sure that all the repo works like it's supposed to. Because what will end up happening is someone will build a really small component and then they'll merge it in main and be like, oh, mine works. And then someone will merge another component and they'll be like, mine works. Yes, they may both work independently, but then they don't work together.
Right.
And ultimately, you're handing over a complete application, not individual components that were developed independently, right? I'll give you a real world example right now. There's 2 specific, I'm actually going to turn off the recording here because I don't want this recorded.